Today, almost anywhere you go, you can order a package or message someone instantly. But there are still communities so remote, they feel like another world entirely. Hidden in mountains, deserts, and distant islands, these places guard traditions, landscapes, and ways of life that few outsiders have ever seen. Today, we'll travel to 7 of the most isolated places on Earth, where mail might come once a month, where traditions are unchanged for generations, and where simply getting there is a journey most travelers wouldn't dare attempt. Imagine a speck of land in the middle of the South Atlantic, surrounded by thousands of miles of open ocean, where the only way in is a long, unpredictable sea voyage. This is Tristan da Cunha, a British overseas territory in the South Atlantic that you can only reach by ship from Cape Town. There is no airstrip, and berths are limited, so trips must be planned well in advance. Before you're allowed to land, you need written permission from the island's authorities, proof of a paid return passage, sufficient funds, and medical insurance that includes evacuation to Cape Town. Expect landing and harbor fees on arrival. Once ashore in Edinburgh of the Seven Seas, movement outside the settlement is controlled for safety and conservation. Hikes away from town and any landings on the outer islands require local guides, with set guide fees and strictly weather-dependent decisions. This is not a place for last-minute plans. Biosecurity and customs controls are tight to protect the island's wildlife, and visitors are expected to follow them. What makes a visit special is the chance to walk with island guides onto the volcano's slopes toward Queen Mary's Peak when conditions allow. Seeing a community that runs on cooperation and the South Atlantic's raw weather. Prepare for rain, wind, and fast changes. Carry layers and waterproof boots and listen to your guide. And from the windswept South Atlantic, our path turns to a frozen Arctic settlement few people will ever see in person. Cold air bites at your face as the helicopter hovers above sea ice, and below lies a cluster of brightly painted houses framed by steep cliffs and endless white. This is Ittoqqortoormiit, one of Greenland's most remote settlements, sitting at the edge of the vast Scoresbysund Fjord system. Services are minimal. A small store and cafe, and independent camping outside town is unsafe without armed protection from polar bears. Licensed guides set strict rules on wildlife distances, and venturing into Northeast Greenland National Park requires permits and proper equipment. In summer, long daylight hours and boat access reveal iceberg-filled waters. In winter, the darkness brings dog sled routes across the ice. For many visitors, the highlight isn't just the scenery, it's the chain of travel itself, the fixed-wing flight, the helicopter transfer, and the sense of living, even briefly, at the edge of the Arctic wilderness. Leaving the icy north behind, we descend into the heart of a canyon, where turquoise waters flow and mail still arrives by mule. The sound of rushing water echoes off the canyon walls, and the dusty trail ahead winds deeper between towering rock faces. There are no roads here, and the journey in is either on foot or by helicopter. This is Supai village, the heart of the Havasupai Reservation deep within the Grand Canyon. Entry requires a pre-approved reservation, day trips are not allowed, and the hike from Hualapai Hilltop is 8 miles to the village, 10 to the campground. The community has firm rules: no alcohol, no drones, no amplified music, and no photographing residents or property without permission. One of its most unique features is the country's last official mule mail route, where letters and supplies are carried in and out along the same paths visitors hike. For travelers, the reward comes in the turquoise waters of nearby falls and the rare privilege of experiencing one of the most secluded communities in the U.S., all while respecting the land and its people. From a hidden village in the desert, our route now stretches across the Pacific to an island shaped by history and the sea. The sea here changes moods quickly, glassy calm one moment, heaving swells the next. Land appears suddenly after hours of open water, marked by rugged cliffs and a small harbor that demands skilled handling. This is Pitcairn Island, a British overseas territory with about 50 residents and no airport. All visitors arrive by sea from Mangareva in French Polynesia aboard the MV Silver Supporter, a journey of roughly 32 hours. Landings are made by longboat through Bounty Bay, where rough seas can delay disembarkation. Accommodation is with island families, offering a rare look into daily life on a self-reliant island community. Before booking, travelers must have medical evacuation insurance. Stays over 14 days require prior clearance and a fee. The New Zealand dollar is standard currency, though some items are priced in US dollars. Visitors can join locals for walks to historic bounty sites, help with small-scale craft work, and learn about honey production. Flexibility is vital. Weather can change plans, and ships run on a fixed but sometimes shifting schedule. From ocean isolation, we climb high into the thin air of the Andes to a settlement that challenges human endurance. The air is thin and crisp, each breath a reminder that you're far above most of the world. Streets are rough and unpaved, and the surrounding mountains are capped with snow year-round. This is La Rinconada in Peru, the highest permanent settlement on Earth at 16,700 feet. There's no running water or sewage system, and safe drinking water must be sourced carefully. The economy runs on small-scale gold mining under the Cachorreo system, something visitors should observe only through authorized local contacts. Mercury from mining affects the environment, making guided advice on food and water essential. The fascination here is in seeing how people live and work in such extreme altitude. Children walking to school in the cold, markets trading essentials, and miners heading into the mountains. It's a raw, challenging environment that reveals both the limits and resilience of human life. From the thin air of the Andes, we head into a world where the cold is so deep it shapes every breath you take. The ground crunches beneath your boots, the air so cold it feels sharp in your lungs. Even your eyelashes can freeze here in minutes. This is Oymyakon, in Russia's Sakha Republic, the coldest permanently inhabited place on Earth. Temperatures can sink below -60 degrees Celsius in winter, and the daylight is fleeting. Travel involves a long drive from Yakutsk along the R504 Kolyma Highway, and winter conditions dictate every movement. Locals adapt with heated garages, outhouses built for permafrost, and school closures at extreme lows. For visitors with experienced guides, activities might include visiting the Pole of Cold Monument, short ice fishing trips, or meeting reindeer herders. The allure here is in witnessing a way of life that persists where most would never consider living, and feeling the stark beauty of a land shaped entirely by cold. And from the frozen edge of Siberia, our journey ends in a palm-fringed lagoon, where family ties link nearly every resident. The lagoon sparkles under the sun, and palm trees sway gently in the breeze. There's no sound of engines or crowds, just the wind, the water, and the voices of a few families calling across the beach. This is Palmerston Island, part of the Cook Islands, and home to descendants of a single 19th century settler. There's no airport, and arrivals are by private yacht or rare supply ship, coordinated well in advance with the island's council and host families. Life is built around fishing, shared meals, and maintaining resources between ship visits. Guests stay in family homes, help with daily activities, and learn local history directly from those who live it. It's a rare opportunity to connect with a tiny Pacific community that opens its doors to only a handful of visitors each year, preserving its traditions while offering an unmatched sense of welcome and remoteness. From frozen frontiers to ocean-bound enclaves, these places remind us how isolation shapes life. Which remote community would you brave the journey for? Share in the comments and watch our other video 10 ideal New York destinations for a 3-day weekend if planning your own adventure.